Welcome to Being Human, Recovering Through Faith's YouTube series, all about being human. So we have a question here today from a friend in recovery, and it says, so I'm in AA and on step 6, and they're saying that I need to give up my defects of character, but I'm afraid because some of the things that people would say are defects are things that make me who I am. Some I just don't want to let go. What should I do? This is such a great question. And I actually have just recently kind of fumbled through this situation myself. So let me read clearly what step 6 and 7 are. Step 6 is we were entirely ready to have God remove all of these defects of character. Step 7 is humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. So I remember back in the beginning, I was like, yeah, I want Him to take away anything that doesn't allow me to serve Him and my fellow people, my fellow humans, if you will. Whatever's getting in the way of me serving people and God, then I want Him to take those things away. Over time, though, I definitely started to realize there are things that make me me that I was not ready to give up. I didn't know who I would be if I gave those things up. I am a construction worker by day, by night, by weekend, by whatever you might want to call it. And there was an incredible pride and ego that came with standing on a roof with a piece of plywood and flopping it down and nailing it in. And, you know, I was like, I love looking at a house and being able to say, yeah, my husband and I did that, you know? But it was physically killing me, like really legitimately. And at parties, I would be the doer. That was my coping mechanism. I would go and help with everything. And over time, I realized that these things were defects of mine. And I wanted them to be lifted, but I didn't know how to effectively do that. And I also didn't know who I would be once those were gone. So what I have found is that when I am good about doing my meditation on a deep level, one of the things I do in that meditation is I ask God to take my mind, take my thoughts, make them His, help me to think whatever it is He wants me to think. Put my hands where you want them. Put my feet where you want them so I can do your will. And over time, He has actually removed these defects of character that were no longer helpful to me. And he's removed them in not the best way possible. I have had some health complications and other complications that have actually lifted these defects through no effort of my own, if you will. And I've been able to look back and say, oh, okay, these defects that I was entirely ready, I was ready to have Him take. I didn't know how to, and I was terribly afraid of what that would look like. And I was not taking any action to remove those defects in the beginning. But all it says is that I had to be entirely willing. And I was. And when God realized that I could not do these things for myself, He took these defects away. And I am reclaiming who I am without these defects, and it's okay. I got to go to a bridal shower, and I got to look at my daughters who are 20 years older than they were during a memory I was having. And I was just so emotional over seeing them getting married, having kids, being these beautiful humans. And I was only able to do that because that defect was lifted from me. I would not have been able to do that on my own. It was totally a God thing. So what I would say is just be willing. You don't have to take the action. You don't have to do anything other than be willing to have God remove anything from you that is not helping you to be of service to God and your fellows. I hope that makes sense. And I hope you enjoyed being human with me. I will see you all next time.